Hello, and welcome to another edition of Chamber Chat Live, brought to you by the Tri-County Chamber of Commerce, dedicated to building communities, creating connections, and supporting commerce. Special thanks to our sponsor, Tim Hillert and Simply PEO. From workers' compensation to human resources support, Simply PEO is the employer's champ. Special thanks as well to our host, Bill Vitiello, representing the Victory Bank. And now, on to our program.
Hello and good afternoon, friends. My name is Bill Vitiello. I am the Institutional and Business Development Manager for the Victory Bank in Limerick. So great to have you on another edition of Chamber Chat Live. We are coming to you live on Facebook, but we're also going to be syndicating through a number of other different channels, and then also over at YouTube if you need to catch the replay. So again, welcome. I have a special guest today, but before we get to her, I would like to thank a few people. First, I'd like to thank Drew Griffin from Delicious Marketing. He's doing all the behind the scenes, getting us on Facebook, just invaluable. So thank you, Drew. Thank you so much. Our sponsor of the Chamber Chat, which is Simply PEO, they are the employer's champ. I'd like to thank the students from the Communicating Arts and Production Group for doing the intro and outro, which you'll see at the end. And I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for even buying into this idea that we should do a chamber chat and organizing all the behind the scenes. So here we go. So my guest today is Adrianne Prewitt. She is the tasting room manager from Manatawny Stillworks. Adrianne, welcome to Chamber Chat. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. I hear you're actually at the Stillworks, I would assume, right?
We are. We're making some whiskey today.
Yeah, that's not your bar at home behind you, is it?
It is not. I wish it was.
Yeah. So we hear all the activity happening. Again, thank you so much for joining. Look, I don't even know where to begin here because I have so many questions. I have questions about Manatawny. I have questions about whiskey. I have questions about the tasting room and the food trucks and so on and so forth. So for those who are not familiar with Manatawny, why don't you describe what Manatawny is, please?
Well, we're a local small craft distillery, so we focus heavily on whiskey, but we also make rum, vodka, and gin. And we make everything right here that we have in our state stores. And then we have special smaller batch items that are limited editions that you can only purchase here.
Very cool. And I know you guys, so you said you're in state stores, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I've seen you guys in there before. And I was like, I'm looking up and down and I'm looking down. I'm like, Manatawny, I'm like, in the state store, really? I'm like,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's really cool, super fun. We love partnering and getting our product out there. So we were very excited to be able to get there.
Yeah, good for you guys. And then, so aside from your main, the main distillery there, do you have some other locations or?
We do. We have a location in East Passyunk in South Philadelphia, right next to, or very close to, the Singing Fountain. And we also have a bottle sale location in Reading Terminal Market, just off of the 12th Street exit, right across from Bueller's Donuts. So lots of locations for people to be able to go and find our product.
Very cool. Very cool. And did I also read there's, are you guys still in Westchester at Farmers Market or?
We do. We do go to the Westchester's Farmers Market pretty regularly and offer tastings there as well as bottle sales.
Okay. All right. So obviously things are a little bit different, right, in the last 8 months or so.
Yes.
So I guess maybe give us an idea of what prior looked like, and then I know you have reopened to some capacity, and maybe give us an idea of what it looks like right now, please.
Yeah. So prior to COVID, we really did a lot of events here at the distillery. We did weddings, birthdays, all sorts of larger events we could host here. Since COVID, we haven't really been able to start doing those types of events yet, but we are doing our tours on Sundays, and we're about to open Friday evenings. So people can come in small parties. We cap them off at about 6, and we do a cheese tasting, whiskey tour, and education about how whiskey is made. And it's a really good time, fun night, nice little date night out.
Yeah. So speaking of tours, I hear you came bearing gifts today. Is that correct?
We did come bearing gifts today. We are going to offer a free tour for 2 people to come in and experience that, learn all about what we do here and how to make whiskey. So if they comment on the stream, then they'll be entered to win.
Yeah, and that's an over $50 value, right?
Yes,
for
it
those folks
is.
to come in. So if you're listening or you're watching this, you have to drop a comment on the Tri-County Area Chamber of Commerce Facebook page on this particular live stream here. Please make a comment about the episode or your great experience you had at Manatawny, and you will be entered to win. So we'll repeat that as time goes on. And I see we already got some people making comments, so that's great. They want to sample some of your wares there. So
Awesome.
so tell me a little bit about your history, Adrianne. How did you get involved with Manatawny, please?
Well, I actually relocated to Pennsylvania about 3 years ago. I moved here from Alaska, and I'd never lived on the East Coast. So I was looking for that hometown feel, right? Your local place to go and hang out. And I happened to find Manatawny. They're about 2 miles from my home. And so I started coming in fairly regularly and got to know the folks here. They're very family oriented. They got to know me. And they asked me if I would start doing the tours for them. And that has just evolved over the last couple of years to me being the tasting room manager. So it's been a super fun experience. And I've been very honored to be able to work with them and learn everything that they've been willing to teach me.
Nice. So where does the name Manatawny come from? Is that is it an Indian word or?
It is, yes. It's we actually have the definition here on our board. It's where people come to meet and drink is the way that
cool.
we understand it to be translated. So we felt like it was pretty suiting for us.
Oh, that's very cool. Very cool. So now, where are you guys located?
We're located in Pottstown, right on Circle of Progress Drive. We're right down the road from Sly Fox for the locals that live around here, but we're right down the road from Sly Fox.
Okay. Yep. So you're local Pottstown there. I know you're very involved in the community. I've seen you at a number of different events there. So with the new COVID restrictions in place, so tell me, if I wanted to come over Friday night and do something over at Manatawny, describe to me what that might be like.
Yeah, so currently we still are offering outdoor seating. We also have our indoor seating, and we're very lucky that we are able to open up our barrel room for seating as well. So we have a lot of social distancing in place to make people feel safe. All of our staff will be wearing masks 100% of the time, and we are taking this very seriously just for our safety and the safety of our guests. A lot of times on Friday evenings, we have a food truck here. You're also welcome to order from Sly Fox and bring it up, or we do have some small food offerings that you can order here. We offer a cheese plate and some cucumber sandwiches. So if you would like to have some munchies while you try your whiskey, you're more than welcome to do that.
Nice. And I know you guys usually rotate food trucks, right? Are there a number of different ones that come through?
Yeah. We really try to stay local with everything that we do. So we try to source everything here locally, and we really try to support our other local businesses as well as food trucks. We're really invested in the community and just want to make sure that we can help other people be successful. We just want other people to be successful.
Nice. So I hear a lot of noise going on in the background there, which is completely fine.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. You're working distillery, but I wanted you to describe for me what's happening, if you could, just kind of look off camera a little bit and just describe what's going on there in the distillery right now.
Well, please. So we have 2 main stills. We have our large 24-hour column still. Her name is Lucretia, and her job is to basically rip the alcohol out of our distiller's beer, which finished sitting yesterday. And so we are right in the process of the early process of making whiskey. It's going to be our 4-grain whiskey, and so it smells absolutely amazing in here. But we're right in the first stage of separating the alcohol from the distiller's beer.
Very, very cool. So, all right. So let's go on. So we've described the space a little bit. We've described the tasting, and if I came over there on a Friday night, let's get down to the booze, right? So describing it. I mean, I happened to take a look at a list. I guess somebody took a picture of your bar area, and there was a list, and I'm sure some of that may rotate, out here or there as availability warrants. But give us the scope of what you produce at the distillery, please.
So we basically do tons of fun stuff here with the production of whiskey. So something that's really cool about a small craft distillery is that we get to experiment and do fun things. So not only do we produce our flagship liquors, which are the things that you're going to see in the state source. So our 4-grain, our gin, the flagship things, those will be in the state store. But if you come here, or if you come to one of our locations, you can try our limited edition stuff. So like our 6-year whiskey, our bottled in bond. We just did an amazingly cool thing with a Scorpiones barrel, so a Mezcal tequila barrel. We took our white whiskey and we put it in that barrel and we let it age for a little while. And we got this amazing, smooth, smoky whiskey that came out of it. And we're calling that Scorpiones. Part of the fun things that we did when we launched Scorpiones is we had 5 live scorpions come in. We all got to hold them and take pictures with them and put them all over our Scorpiones bottle. But yeah, we absolutely love what we do and we believe in our product. And so everything that you try here that we produce, we want to educate you about and we want you to love it. So we're really invested in educating and helping people find what they like to drink.
Yeah, well, speaking of educating, I know we were talking very briefly before this interview started that we probably should do the interviews at Manatawny from now on.
Yes.
All the Chamber Chat lives. And see how they wind up going after a few sniffs there. But yeah, absolutely. So so you guys produce whiskey, vodka, gin, rum. So you talked a little bit about the whiskeys. What about some of the vodka? Do you infused, I'm assuming, or non-infused?
We are working on an orange infused vodka right now. We don't have it out yet. So that's something exciting that's coming.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, you did. Now I'm going to be putting pressure on Max. Our head distiller just looked at me. We also have a really neat gin. So one of the things that we did with one of our gins is we aged it. Well, we let it take a nap in a whiskey barrel. And so it's got a beautiful color to it. And while it's still very gin forward, it's got a nice full-bodied whiskey flavor that kind of comes at the back. And so you kind of get the best of both worlds. It makes a beautiful gin and tonic, something that's nice really to sip, and it kind of elevates the flavor of the gin.
And then how about rum? Did you do rums as well?
We do rum. We've done a lot of fun things with rum in the past. Right now, we just have our regular white rum, but we have done things like aged in port wine barrels. We're always doing something new and different. We're experimenting with flavors and flavor profiles, and so you never know what you're going to find when you come in. We may have just taken something out of a barrel.
Yeah, that's cool. So you said earlier you were big on education, and I know you probably could wind up speaking 30 minutes just probably on whiskey alone. But for those who aren't necessarily educated enough on what the difference is between whiskey, rum, vodka, gin, can you give us just like a brief on each one and
Sure.
maybe see as our audience is either watching or listening, maybe where their palate might fall into? Because I know for me, I like anything that's a little bit sweeter and smoother. Mm-hmm. So that's my palate. Sure. I may not like something that's, on the rough side. So, so kind of give us this. Why don't we start with whiskey first?
Sure. So whiskey is going to be very different based on how it's aged. And so a lot of times people will say, well, the longer it ages, the smoother it is. That's not necessarily true. Really, with whiskey, people get afraid of it, so they want to shoot it all of the time. Or they've been told that you're supposed to only drink it neat or over ice, that there's all these rules around how you should like whiskey. And here at Manatawny, we're not pretentious. We don't believe that. We want you to enjoy your liquor the way you enjoy it. And so with whiskey, really, when you're trying it and you're wanting to understand that flavor profile behind it, you should take at least 2 sips of it. That way you can really start to taste that flavor profile. A lot of times you'll hear people say it has caramel notes or spicy notes. And when I was very early on in my whiskey tasting life, I really used to think, are you kidding me? I don't taste any of that. This just really burns. But if you take your time and you know that the first sip is going to burn a little bit, and then you take the second sip and maybe even a third, you're going to start to taste all of those beautiful flavors that have come out of those barrels. And then you can start to have a lot of fun, either, developing yourself to drink it neat, or you can have a lot of fun coming up with some unique flavors and cocktails that people aren't going to expect, even at a dinner party or, having a fun night with friends. You're going to start to be able to do some fun things with whiskey that way.
All right, so I already know what I'm doing wrong when I'm tasting whiskey. I'm taking one sip and I'm saying, nope, not for me.
You got to try it. You can dilute it even with water a little bit, and that will help you taste those flavors in there.
Okay. All right, great. All right, how about vodka?
Vodka is also a grain based liquor. It's obviously clear. It's unaged. A lot of people flavor their vodkas. We do not. The cool thing about our vodka is that it is closely tied to our Piper's Project, which is one of the things that we do to participate in community charities. Piper's Project is all about supporting local dog rescues. And so a portion of our bottle sales, and on First Fridays, a portion of our vodka drink sales goes towards a rescue of the month. And so we really do like to promote our vodka that way. It's called Three Bitches Vodka. And it has pictures of our three cute puppies on the front. But the fun thing about vodka is that it is the definition of vodka is supposed to be clear, odorless, and tasteless. As you know, it has liquor, and it's going to also have a little bit of a burn. But straight vodka is going to go in anything and basically hide. It's going to be a liquor in your mixer that you won't necessarily taste as flavor forward.
Okay. All right. I'm already learning. All right. Let's move on to gin. How about gin?
All right. So gin is a botanical based liquor. It's also clear and unaged. And so one thing that a lot of people don't know is when we create a craft liquor, we have to send the recipe, the label, and everything about that liquor into the control board. And they actually get to tell us whether or not we can call it a gin or a whiskey or whatever, based on how it was made. So we have to send all the specs in. So gin has to have a juniper berry flavor forward. So that's kind of that flavor that gin is known for. As I was mentioning earlier, our Hidden River gin, it took a nap in some whiskey barrels because it is an unaged product. But it is just a fun new way of trying gin for some people that may be a little bit afraid of it. Our Flagship gin is a very smooth gin. It's very clean, and it doesn't have a super strong juniper berry flavor. It's just very light and refreshing.
Boy, I wonder who at the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board gets to sample that and verify whether.
Right? How do we get that?
Whether or not there's juniper notes in there or whatever.
Right.
Okay, and lastly, I do have them all, right? I have them all. Rum is the last one?
Yes. So rum is sugar-based. We make our rum from molasses. And so a lot of people really enjoy rum with things like daiquiris and a little on the sweeter side. You can do just about anything with rum that you can do with some of the other liquors and get a little bit more creative. You can make it as a warm drink. You can make it mixed with fruit. You can just do it with tonic. A lot of people like the rum and Coke. But it is a sugar-based product, and we basically use that to make the liquor instead of a grain.
Yeah. So rum's my drink because it's a little bit on the sweeter side. So I'm a rum and Coke, and please, audience, please don't judge.
No.
Everybody's got their own thing, right?
Yes.
Drink what you like.
Yeah. So what you're saying is when you come to visit, we need to have an amazing rum cocktail ready for you.
Yes, absolutely.
We can do that.
We can call it, I don't know, call it something. Call it the Baldy.
Okay, we can do that.
We'll go from there. So, folks, once again, if you're not noticing, please drop a comment in the Facebook live feed for Manatawny Still Works and this episode. We are going to be picking a winner for a tasting room tour for two folks, excess value or value in excess of $50, given by Adrianne personally. So thank you so much for offering this. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We really do find a lot of enjoyment having people come in for our tours.
Mm-hmm. So I'm noticing up behind you there on the top of the bar, you got bottles with a lot of medals on it. What are some of those medals? Describe to me what I'm looking at there.
So I would have to kind of turn around and look.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, we've got that's on our Pennsylvania whiskey and our 4-grain whiskey. So our 4-grain whiskey, like I said, is our flagship that you can buy in the state stores. Our Pennsylvania whiskey was recently rebranded to Select, and so it's basically the step up from the 4-grain. But they are both very solid, well-rounded whiskeys that most people think when they try them, if they're big whiskey drinkers, they think that they're aged a lot longer, and that just comes from our distilling and the knowledge that our folks have here as they're making the whiskey.
Nice. Well, congratulations on all your awards. I think that's awesome, especially since you get a chance to display them while people walk in and they're like, "Yeah, I'm at a distillery. Like,
Yeah,
this place is legit." So that's great. Well, what else before we go? The last few moments here. What else would you like to share about the distillery, or anything else you'd like to tell our audience, please?
Yeah, we love having folks come and visit us. We'd love to have anyone come in and spend some time here. They're more than welcome to try the stuff that we have available and learn all about what we do here. We also love partnering with our local businesses in Pottstown. And so any type of partnership that folks are thinking about, we always love to hear of those opportunities. So anyone that would like to drop by or come see us, we will welcome you with open arms.
Awesome. Well, I am coming in for that rum drink sometime soon. I can promise you that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've never been to your place over there, but seriously, you guys sound like you have a great thing going on over there. For you to be in the state stores, it's just amazing. And for you to partner with the community is amazing as well. So I'd rather do nothing than support you guys locally in the Pottstown community. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what you're doing with the nonprofit as well. And wish all the best to you guys.
Thank you very much for letting us have the opportunity to come chat with you.
No, you're welcome. Yeah, it's our pleasure. So just hang on just a moment there. So my guest today has been Adrianne Prewitt from the Manatawny Stillworks. She is the tasting room manager. And once again, if you're interested in getting a complimentary distillery tour for 2 people, please make a comment on the Tri-County Area Chamber of Commerce Facebook page, specifically on this video, please. And we will enter you in a chance to win that. So again, Adrianne, thank you so much. And we want to thank Drew Griffin from Delicious Marketing. We also like to thank Simply PEO, the employer's champ, the good students over at the Montgomery County Community College Communicating Arts and Production Group for doing our intro and outro. And once again, thank you to the folks over at the Chamber for organizing this and all of our guests. So once again, until we connect again, all my best. I'm Bill Vitiello from the Victory Bank, excuse me. And see, I'm already in the car, ready to come over to Manatawny over there. I got one brain cell over there. So thanks. Until we connect again, all my best. Bye for now.
Thank you for tuning in. Please like, turn on notifications, subscribe, or share. Want to be a guest? Email podcast@tricountyareachamber.com.